Okay, good day everyone. So today we will discuss about Lawrence Kohlberg's theory of moral development. So a major theory that explains how people develop their sense of right and wrong. So Kohlberg believed that moral reasoning develops in three levels and six stages. Always remember three levels and six stages. And people progress from simple obedience to advanced ethical reason. So to understand this theory, we will also use his most famous scenario, that is the Hans dilemma. So, in Kohlberg's theory, he expanded Piaget's work and focused on how we reason morally, not just what we decide. So he said that the moral development is like climbing a ladder. You cannot skip a step. So you grow from simple reasoning to more complex and moral reasoning based on fairness, justice, and universal rights. So this is the famous Hans' dilemma. So, to read it for you, Hans' wife was dying from a particular type of cancer. Doctors said a new drug might save her. So, the drug had been discovered by a local chemist, and the Hans tried desperately to buy some, but the chemist was charging 10 times the money it cost to make the drug, and this was much more than the Hans could afford. Hans could only raise half the money even after help from the family and friends. He explained to the chemist that his wife was dying and asked if he could have the drug cheaper or pay the rest of the money later. The chemist refused, saying that he had discovered the drug and was going to make money from it. The husband was desperate to save his wife, so later that night he broke into the chemist and stole the drug. So, to sum it up now for you, the story goes like this. So, Hans' wife is dying from cancer. So, a chemist discovered a drug that could save her, but he charged 10 times the cost, which Hans could not afford. Hans begged for a discount or to pay later, but the chemist refused it. So, desperate Hans broke into the store and stole the drug to save his wife. So, the major question here is, was Hans right or wrong? But what mattered most was not the answer, but the reasoning behind the answer. Let's now discuss the level one. We have the pre-conventional. So this is the moral reasoning is based on the consequence result of the act, not on the whether the act itself is good or bad. So at level one, morality is externally controlled. So children think in terms of punishment and reward. So adults who are under pressure and raised under strict systems may also stay here in the conventional. So under the pre-conventional, we have what we call the punishment and obedience. The question here is, will I get punished? So children follow rules to avoid punishment. So not because they understand the morality. So for example, a child returns a toy only because they don't want to get scolded, or a student obeys school rules only because the teacher is watching. Let's now correlate the stage one to Hans' dilemma. So what will you do when you are in the stage one? So of course the answer is Hans will not steal the drug. Why? Because he shouldn't steal it, because stealing is bad and he will be punished. So he might go to jail, or he might reason it that is wrong. So that is the punishment and obedience under the pre-conventional. Next is we have the mutual benefit. That is the stage two. This is based on the self-interest. The question here is, what's in it for me? So children at this stage believe that right actions are those that will benefit them. You'll scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. So again, the major question here is, what's in it for me? For example, so you share your snacks only if they will um, if they will share their snacks in return. So, for example, is you have to clean their room for a reward. That is a mutual benefits. So, what will be the reasoning of mutual benefit in Hans' dilemma? So, of course, Hans will steal the drug, but only if it benefits him. So Hans should still eat because he needs his wife. She helps him and he will feel happier if she survives. That is the mutual benefit. Compared to stage one, in the Hans condition, he will not steal the drug because Hans will get punished. In the stage two mutual benefit, he will steal the drug because it will benefit him. It will save his wife. That really helps him as well. Next is the level two. So after the pre-conventional, no, we have the conventional morality. So we have two stages here also. So at this level, people internalize social norms. So they obey rules because they want to be accepted. They wanted to be respected or because they value maintaining order. So for the stage three, we have the social approval. That is what we call the good boy and the good girl. So in stage three, morality is based on pleasing others. We gain approval or being seen as a good person. So for example, is you follow rules because they want um they want your parents to be proud, or you donate to charity because it looks good socially. So in Hans' dilemma, so what will be the reasoning? So Hans will steal the drug because he will be a good husband that would do anything to save his wife. So people will understand that he did it out of love. Okay, that is the social approval. Next is the um post-conventional. So I'm so sorry. The stage four is under the conventional. So in stage four, we have the law and order. So the morality revolves around rules, laws, and maintaining order. So people believe society functions properly only if laws are followed. So for example, you as a driver, you follow a traffic signs even at midnight because it's the law. For example, also is you report a wrongdoing because rules must be upheld always. So in Hans' dilemma, he will not, of course, steal the drug because stealing is against the law and must never be allowed. So everyone broke the law, the society will collapse. So that is the reasoning under the law and order under level two, which is conventional. So let's now proceed to level three, that is the post-conventional. This is the highest level. So people think beyond rules. So they consider justice, human rights, and universal ethics. So not everyone reaches this level. So for the stage five, we have the social contract or human rights. So people understand that laws exist for the good of the society, but laws should change if they violate human rights. So for example, you advocating for changing unfair laws, or you support equal rights even when it's popular. In Hans' dilemma, what would Hans will do? So Hans will steal the drug. That is because the right to life is more important than the property laws. So Hans should steal the drug because um if Hans should steal the drug but also face the legal consequences, laws matter, but human life matters more. So that is the reasoning under the stage five, which is a social contract. Next is stage six, which is the last stage, which is the universal principles or universal ethical principles. So this stage is based on deeply with moral principles such as justice, equality, and respect for human dignity. So people here follow their conscience, even it conflicts with law. So for example, is if you're familiar with Gandhi, here is his British rule. If you're familiar with Martin Luther King, he breaking unjust segregation laws. So that is the example of universal principles or universal ethical principles. So in here, what would Hans do? So of course, Hans will steal the drug. So human life is sacred and must be above all laws. So it is morally right to save life even if you must break the law. So at this stage, ethical principles are more important than legal systems. So to sum it up, no, Kohlberg theory explains how moral reasoning develops from simple obedience, social conformity, and universal moral principles. So Hans' dilemma helps us see that the real focus is not whether Hans steals, but why someone thinks he should or should not. So understanding these stages help as teachers, parents, to guide our learners into higher and more ethical levels of reasoning. Okay, so for your performance task, so please don't forget to write your name and your cluster in answering. So the scenario would be a government official in the Philippines is in charge of a multi-billion peso flood control project meant to protect a city from devastating floods. While overseeing the project, the official discovers that some politicians are siphoning off the funds, excuse me, delaying the project and putting people's homes and lives at risk. So the official knows that if the corruption continues, many families may suffer serious damage of loss during the next flood. Reporting the corruption could save lives and protect the public, but it could also ruin the officials' career, damage their reputation, and even put them and their family at risk. So the question here is, should the official report the corruption even if it puts themselves in danger, or stay silent to protect their own safety, career, and why or why not? So what you're going to do here is um you will fill out all the stages in moral development by Lawrence Kohlberg. What would be the reasoning under stage one in based on this scenario, just like what we do during the discussions in the enhanced dilemma. So for the obedience and punishment, what would you do in the scenario? For the stage two, three, four, five, until six, you will just put all the reasoning under whether will you report, why, and why not. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I hope you understand. I hope you learned something from our discussion. So thank you very much.